The first-class cabin of Flight 892 to Boston was nearly empty on Christmas Eve, just the way Alexander Drake preferred it. At 37, he was CEO of Drake Enterprises, a private equity firm managing over $3 billion in assets. He sat in seat 1A, a glass of expensive wine untouched on his tray table, staring at his laptop screen without really seeing the quarterly reports displayed there. Christmas Eve, the one day of the year he couldn't hide behind work meetings or business dinners. The one day that forced him to confront the fact that he had everything money could buy and absolutely no one to share it with. His parents were gone. His marriage had ended 4 years ago when his wife finally accepted he'd never prioritize anything over his company. He had colleagues, business associates, people who wanted things from him. But friends, family, those were luxuries he'd sacrificed on the altar of success. The boarding process had finished, and Alexander allowed himself a moment of relief. The seat beside him was empty. He'd have the flight to himself, could work in peace, arrive in Boston, and spend Christmas alone in his penthouse the way he had for the past 4 years. Then he heard it. A child's voice, high and clear, cutting through the quiet cabin. "Mommy, look, this plane is so fancy." Alexander didn't look up. Not his problem. The child was probably just passing through to economy class. But then a flight attendant's voice, apologetic and stressed. "Ma'am, I'm sorry, but your tickets are for economy class. These are first-class seats." "I understand," a woman's voice replied, tired but patient. "We're just passing through. Come on, Liam, let's go find our seats." "But mommy, why can't we sit in the fancy seats?" "Because we don't have fancy seat tickets, sweetheart. Come on." Alexander heard them move past his row, the shuffle of feet and the rustle of a heavy coat. He should have kept his eyes on his laptop, should have minded his own business, but something made him look up. The woman was probably in her late 20s, blonde hair pulled back in a practical ponytail, wearing a worn canvas jacket over a simple dress. She carried a backpack that looked heavy and guided a little boy by the hand. The boy was maybe 3 years old, wearing a red winter coat and a knit hat with a penguin on it. He clutched a stuffed penguin toy under his other arm. As they passed Alexander's row, the boy stopped suddenly, pulling his hand free from his mother's grasp. Before she could stop him, he walked directly to Alexander and placed his small hand on Alexander's arm. "Mom said lonely people need friends," the boy said seriously, his blue eyes studying Alexander's face. "You look really lonely. Do you want to be friends?" Alexander froze. The entire cabin seemed to hold its breath. The woman rushed forward, her face flushed with embarrassment. "Liam, I'm so sorry, sir. He's at that age where he has no filter." "Liam, come on, we need to find our seats." "But mommy, he needs a friend. You said we should be kind to people who are sad. I'm sure this gentleman is fine. We need to go." Alexander found his voice. "It's okay, he's not bothering me." He looked at the boy, this tiny person who'd somehow seen through his expensive suit and first-class seat to the loneliness underneath. When was the last time anyone had really seen him? "What's your name?" Alexander asked. "Liam James Foster. I'm 3.5. This is Mr. Penguin." "What's your name?" "Alexander. It's nice to meet you, Liam. Do you want to sit with us? We're going to the back seats, but you could come with us. Then you wouldn't be lonely." The woman, clearly mortified, tried again. "Liam, honey, this gentleman paid for his first-class seat. He doesn't want to sit in economy with us." Alexander surprised himself by asking, "Where are you headed?" "Boston. We're visiting my mother for Christmas. It's Liam's first time flying." She paused. "I'm Hannah, by the way. Hannah Foster. And again, I'm so sorry about my son. He takes after me in the worst ways, apparently. I may have mentioned to him on the way to the airport that lonely people need kindness, especially during the holidays. He's very perceptive for 3.5. That's a polite way of saying he has no boundaries." But Hannah smiled as she said it, ruffling Liam's hair with obvious affection. The flight attendant returned. "Ma'am, we really need you to take your seats. We're preparing for departure." Alexander made a decision that defied every instinct he'd cultivated over 20 years of ruthless business practice. Actually, they're in the right place. I'm upgrading their tickets. They'll sit here, in seats 1B and 1C. Everyone stared at him. Sir, that's very generous, but I couldn't possibly accept, Hannah said, her pride warring with clear exhaustion. These seats cost more than our entire trip. Consider it a Christmas gift. Your son offered me friendship. That's worth far more than a plane ticket. But, please, let me do this. When was the last time someone did something kind for you? Hannah's eyes filled with tears. She looked at Liam, then back at Alexander and slowly nodded. Okay, thank you. Truly. The flight attendant helped them get settled, stowing Hannah's backpack and helping Liam buckle into his seat. The boy's face glowed with excitement as he explored the reclining chair, the personal entertainment screen, the footrest. Mommy, this is the best Christmas present ever, Liam declared. As the plane took off, Alexander found himself talking with them instead of burying himself in work. Liam chattered about Mr. Penguin and preschool, and how Santa was coming tonight. Hannah, slowly relaxing, told their story in bits and pieces. She'd been a graphic designer before her husband left when Liam was 6 months old. The divorce had been messy, leaving her with debt and no support. She'd been working 2 jobs, barely making ends meet, saving for months to afford this trip to see her mother, who she hadn't seen in 2 years because she couldn't afford to visit. I know first-class tickets aren't in my budget, Hannah said quietly while Liam was absorbed in a cartoon. I know economy seats are fine, but when Liam saw you sitting here alone, he genuinely wanted to help. He has this gift for seeing when people are hurting. Gets it from his grandmother. He was right. I am lonely. I've built this entire life, and I have no one to share it with. I was dreading spending another Christmas alone. You don't have family? Not anymore. I have success and wealth, and all the things I thought mattered. Turns out, they don't matter much when you eat Christmas dinner alone for the 4th year in a row. Hannah reached across the armrest and squeezed his hand. Then spend Christmas with us. My mom would love to have you. She always makes too much food anyway, and she'd be delighted to have someone new to fuss over. I couldn't impose on your family holiday. You just upgraded us to first class, and probably saved my back from the cheapest seats on the plane. Let us thank you with turkey and terrible Christmas movies. Liam looked up from his cartoon. Please come to Christmas. Grandma makes the best cookies, and we can show you how to build snow forts. Alexander felt his carefully constructed walls crumbling. Okay, yes, I'd like that. Christmas at Hannah's mother's house was nothing like the holidays Alexander remembered from his childhood, when his parents had hosted elegant parties full of important people and empty conversations. This was loud and warm and chaotic, with a grandmother who hugged him like he was family and a dinner table covered in mismatched dishes and too much food. Liam insisted Alexander sit next to him, narrating every detail of the meal and the presents, and why this Christmas cookie was definitely better than that one. Hannah caught Alexander's eye across the table and smiled, and he felt something shift in his chest. After dinner, while Liam played with his new toys and Hannah's mother cleaned up despite their protests, Hannah and Alexander sat on the back porch watching snow fall. You know what Liam said to me after we boarded? Hannah asked. He said, Mommy, I think that lonely man needed us. He was right. But I think we needed you too. What do you mean? I've been so focused on just surviving, on making sure Liam has what he needs, that I forgot we're allowed to accept help. Your generosity today reminded me that it's okay to let people in. That asking for help isn't weakness. Your son taught me something too. That success means nothing if you're alone. That sometimes the bravest thing you can do is admit you need a friend. Alexander returned to Boston 2 days later, but he didn't return alone. Hannah and Liam came with him, accepting his offer of a position as his company's design director, with a salary that would let her stop working 2 jobs and actually see her son grow up. Over the next year, their friendship deepened into something more. Alexander attended Liam's preschool performances and birthday parties. He taught the boy to play chess and read him bedtime stories. He fell in love with Hannah slowly, steadily, in the way that lasts, 2 years after that Christmas Eve flight, Alexander and Hannah were married in a small ceremony with Liam as ring-bearer. Liam's speech at the reception was simple and profound. "My mom told me lonely people need friends. So I told the lonely man on the plane that I would be his friend. And then he became my best friend. And now, he's my daddy too. So I think maybe everyone is lonely until they find the people who are supposed to love them." Alexander picked up his son and held him close. This brave little boy who'd seen a stranger's loneliness and decided to fix it with nothing but kindness and honesty. If this story warmed your heart, please like, share, and subscribe for more tales of unexpected connection.